It was on the 17th day of November 2027 that the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was at the All Judges Conference in Abuja. And in this conference, this is where everyone that passes judgment in any court of law within the Nigerian territory is supposed to attend. Why all of them gathered, just as you can see in the video, it's so unfortunate that when the president was given the podium to speak to the judges, this is what happened.
Judges Conference. I thank you all for your kind attention.
There were busy singing on his mandate. They will stand. And actually, when you look at the behavior from 2023 to date, the judges have actually been standing on the mandate and the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President. The President went forth to deliver a very good and robust speech. Yes, it was a very nice speech. He talks about the rule of law. He talks about not selling judgment. He also went ahead to talk about the people of Nigeria perceiving the judgment not to be fair enough, which means that Mr. President, if at all he went through the speech or he wrote the speech by himself, is actually coming to an understanding that the judgment passed in 2023 in his own favor by the appeal court, the Presidential Petition Tribunal, and the Supreme Court was not actually a fair judgment, judging by his own statements.
I extend on behalf of the government and the good people of our country our deepest gratitude and abiding respect. The theme of this year's conference, Building a Confident Judiciary, could not be more fitting. Confidence is the lifeblood of justice. A judgment may be grounded in law and delivered with clarity, but unless the public perceives it to be fair, impartial, and untainted, its moral authority is diminished. The confidence of the people is therefore not an abstract aspiration. It is a living measure of the judiciary's legitimacy and the true currency of justice.
When you look at this carefully, you will understand that yes, our president and our politicians are good in rhetorics. He's here today preaching rule of law, preaching this and that. Just like Nyesom Wike, his boy, was preaching rule of law the other day. And we saw how a former air commodore who served Nigeria for 35 years was in Libya and many other places representing Nigeria during hard time. His house was demolished without due process. His property was demolished, order from where? From above. So, if I'm to digress a bit, you will understand the reason why the altercation with the military is at this level. Coming back to this issue here, the president talked about not selling, judgment not for sale, and the respect for the rule of law, and that no one is so powerful that the law or the judges should not be able to restrain, and no one should be too small that judgment should not be passed in their favor if everything works as it's supposed.
We must acknowledge with candor that public perception of the judicial process has not always been favorable. Citizens have expressed frustration at delays, concerns about integrity, and anxiety over access to justice. These perceptions, whether wholly justified or not, cannot be ignored. They call upon us to reflect, to reform, and to restore. For ultimately, justice does not exist for the bench or the bar. It exists for the people. Their faith in judicial process is the foundation of our national stability. In this regard, I wish to reaffirm with the clarity and conviction the unwavering commitment of my administration to support the judiciary in fulfilling its constitutional mandate. The judiciary does not exist in isolation. It functions within a larger democratic framework which all three arms of government must work in synergy with the mutual respect and shared responsibility to the Nigerian people. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary must remain united by purpose, even when separated by function.
Just as you can hear him over there, we have Meze Nnamdi Kanu who have been in the detention of the DSS for the past 5 years. What did the court say? What did the Supreme Court say? What did the Supreme Court say? What did the Appeal Court say? When you look at all of that and you look at the statement of Mr. President, you beg to ask, is this really coming out of a deep reflection of the fact that over the years, the judiciary has actually been misled by the politicians, or the judiciary have not been up to the game and he is trying to reawaken them and tell them to do the right thing, even though they are standing on his mandate? Or could it be just one of these statements or speeches made by Mr. President, which will not come into the light of the day? It will just end within that auditorium. Nnamdi Kanu case is something that everybody have been asking. Why are you keeping this guy? Release him. You have Boko Haram, you have bandits that you said they have repented and all of that. You have other cases similar to his as you have discontinued while keeping him. So Mr. President's statement is indicting himself, where he talks about no one is too powerful and no one is too small. So when you look at this, what will you make as your own judgment to the statement of Mr. President and the reality that is on ground today? I believe you will have something to say, and we can all have this conversation together at the comment section. So do well to subscribe, like, share this video, and let's have a very good and unprovocative words being used at the comment section. Thank you for watching.